This group of people is filled with anger. A surprise attack on a circus. They think the circus bear is the culprit. It killed many people in the village. But when we're all arguing, then the darkness suddenly passed to get a young man to sell salt on the spot. You see, people panic, run away immediately to find a way out. But no matter how well you hide, can't get rid of the monster's claws. So what's that bloodthirsty creature? And how can the villagers capture it? Invite the whole family to see a great movie. This super dramatic. The story begins in a dark forest. A man holding a lamp at night are looking for that AI. Suddenly he was attacked by a monster wolf face figure. Even though he was injured, but I tried to run away from the forest with a heavy wound on me. So soon, the werewolf chased him and killed him. That poor man's name is Ben, and our male lead is called Larry. He's also Ben's brother. Ben's fiancée is Wen. I went to London to report. I told Larry about her husband's disappearance. After listening, the male lead hurriedly cancelled all the shows, then quickly returned home to find out about Ben's disappearance. On the way home, I looked back at the family's photo. In the past, Ben and Larry have a very happy life with their parents. But one day, your mother suddenly killed herself for no apparent reason. Now my brother is strangely missing. Make the male lead sit still. After a long journey, I finally got home. The scenery here has faded over time. Oh, one little vitality. Just as he walked in the door, Larry was scared by a dog. Little piss in the army. Fortunately, after so many years of separation, stand out to prevent. In time, he said. Ben's body was found in a roadside stream and quickly led him to the body's storage. Step inside. Larry received an artifact. My brother kept it with him before he died. The main male comes to lift the curtain, face down to reveal a dry skeleton. It makes me so scared. Larry quickly returned home. Give Cho Wen the mementos that Ben left behind. Saw her cry. The South promised, I will find out the cause of my brother's death after Ben's funeral, but Wen had to leave too. You and the deceased are not married. And Larry, let's start investigating his death. Poor brother. Male lead to a crowded circus nearby to ask for news. And no, this place is being ravaged by a monster. Meanwhile, the people of the town, because I thought the circus bear was the killer, so indignant, came to arrest. Immediately, the hairy head looks like my boss evaporated. Just in one note, see the outside noise. Larry looked at the situation. The people of the town and the people of the circus. I'm arguing about the poor bear. At this moment, a young man suddenly collapsed with fatal scratches on his back. Everyone panicked and ran off with their pants down. The main male doesn't understand anything either. I heard him scream that the devil had come. It actually appeared with its sharp claws. No matter how well you hide. He also found out and sent his victims to the altar. Watching and naked, Larry quickly picked up his gun to defend himself. The police officer was about to touch the body. He slanted a few fingers and ended with a blow through the throat. The werewolf was moving so fast that Larry can't hit. Fortunately, I was able to fly in time to save a girl from the claws of death. I saw him chasing a boy up the hill. The man immediately raised his gun carefully, but it's slick, so I had to run. Follow the boy into the thick fog, but I couldn't find the boy. Suddenly the wolf jumped from above. He grabbed the main male and scratched the structure, right at the critical moment. Then the others came running. Shoot the monster in time. Make it bend its ass and run away. They quickly took him to a nearby farm. Emergency. The next morning, I was taken home in a semi-conscious state. Ever since he was bitten by a werewolf, Larry's always having nightmares about the monster and a mysterious boy. It has a scary shape. When you are away, take care of yourself. A few days later, the doctor came to the doctor. He was very surprised to see the marks. Your injury has recovered quickly. I thought my arm was scratched. I won't be able to move anymore, but every bite miraculously disappeared. Information is transmitted by Lan quickly to Abalai. The inspector's face, no different than my boss. He came to the house to investigate and ask Larry details of that terrible night, but you just answer through the speakers. A few days later, a group of officials have the right to the main male house. They want to take Larry away, with reason. You've been bitten and could endanger the whole town. At this time, the father of the male appeared to shoot. Fuck you. If it tastes good, take my son and try it. The whole crowd saw that, shivering like a crane, hurrying their ass away. I used to clean Larry's wounds that night. The main male feels in the person has a strange feeling. The eyes are like young people, staring at the flesh, and the lips of the beautiful. I want to paint you a little. But in time to wake up, Larry looked in the mirror. The bite on the shoulder is completely gone. I have a feeling that I'll be turned into a werewolf every night. At the full moon, I couldn't control myself. I told Wen to leave to keep her safe. The next morning, the people in town started casting silver pellets. Only silver bullets can kill a werewolf. Everyone's prepared to hide and fight. Because it's a full moon night. Quayside. Army soldiers use a deer as bait, baiting the werewolf. That night Larry followed his father to a dark cellar. This is where Ben was killed. Inside there is a woman lying, and this is the statue of Nam's late mother. As he kept moving, he found his father lighting candles. He said this is her grave. And watching his wife suddenly die, it was a huge shock in my life. When you're going out. Then the father in the back suddenly locked the door and said, "It is time for the beast to rise." I don't understand what's going on, but just walked out. I can't move myself anymore. The fingers and feet start to change upwards, big fast. I can't control myself. With close eyes, the air howling echoed through the forest, to make the AI hear also to panic. Inspector Abelai also began to act. Larry is now completely turned into a werewolf. With a predatory instinct, he quickly sniffed the deer and ran too. But Black Luck is trapped. A zealous man jumps down to claim victory, who suspects eating figs at the head of the brand, always on the spot. The other guy above was curious. He was dragged down to the face of the pig. Bullets. It's no different for Larry now than a mosquito biting an electric pole. Everyone panicked and went crazy. But I don't know how to shoot my teammates. You see, I haven't suffered yet. So the whole group was chased by Nam Cho running out of smoke. A kite flying user. Just shoot and move. Forgetting to look at the road, he fell into the swamp. He wanted to kill himself rather than suffer. The gun is out of ammunition. Larry and Cho had a headshot. Soon the whole hunting party was flying. Inspector Abline to the scene. I saw a horrible scene in front of me. At the right time, a terrifying howl came from the forest. The morning after, Larry woke up covered in blood, along with the tattered clothes underneath. The father knew, "You will be a werewolf from the beginning." So he deliberately awakened Larry's powers. Suddenly a group of people came from the police department, crank catch male Maine. But the father had a mysterious smile. They took Larry to the mental hospital, and said, "You're sick." Paranoid because I don't think I'm a werewolf. The doctor forced him to soak in ice-cold water. Boots follow. It's very barbaric methods to force Larry to transform. But you still bite your teeth, wearing for painful torments of the body. One day the father came to visit Nam, and reveal a shocking secret. He said, "I met a hideous animal-shaped boy in the cave, and unfortunately let it bite into your hand." So from then on, he would turn into a werewolf every full moon night, and Larry's mother didn't commit suicide. It's because of the werewolf. He accidentally killed his own wife. You can't control yourself. So Ben was murdered by him. But the father didn't have any regrets, but except the following: the beast's instincts are in him. This fact infuriated Larry. They came to kill him, but held back by the chain. It's finally here. The male lead was given a disease screening council. Doctors here still think you're obsessive and paranoid. I didn't know I was a bloodthirsty werewolf. Doctor named Four Eyes Stan, talking about Larry's illness. Without noticing that the full moon has reached its peak, you start to change shape very quickly. Made the whole room afraid to run for people. But right now, some loser plays the evil Locke outside. After the transformation is complete, Larry frantically broke the dog's leash and attacked the doctors. The four-eyed doctor just dared to tease the male lead. I was thrown under the water. Even Inspector Abelai was there, and saw the whole thing. And Larry quickly ran to the rooftops to get out of here, hanging on a stone statue. I'm coldly howling all over the city. The inspector immediately mobilized forces to attack the werewolf. They fired and fired, but didn't hit anyone, because Nam's speed is too fast and too dangerous. It's gone. So I jumped in and asked for some lives. It's got the whole city scratching. All the police are at the end of the road, waiting for the werewolves to come together and shoot, but I quickly fly by, to dodge gently. Finally Larry ran to the river, and make a deep sleep under the bridge. The next morning, I woke up in a bloody mess. People in the city are still hunting, looking for you in the pouring rain. When just got home, I found Larry in my house. You come to me and you talk to me. She said that she would help him at all costs. He refused for fear of being implicated. It is said that the fire burns near the straw for a long time. The days of taking care of each other, it helped them to have feelings for the enemy, are handing out dog rice enthusiastically. Someone knocked on the door. Turns out it's Detective Abelai. He wants 6 control of the house, and did not forget to advise when. Don't harbor that dangerous monster. But you are ready, so they had to take you out. Then take the hot goods and break into the house to check. But I've been looking all day and I can't find anyone, because Larry had already lost the swallow. Because of the love that Wen has, he will save Larry. What night? She's also reading books about werewolves. I hope somewhere in the book, there's a way to break that curse. About Larry, I went back to the old house, and determined to kill such a cruel father. But when I just walked in, then he was startled to see his dead body. It plucked out the liver. After getting the calm, Larry's looking for a box with a lot of silver bullets in it. Now Grand and Inspector Abelai know the news. Hurry to ride the horse to find the main male. Key-aside Larry continues to search for the bad father. Meet him in the living room. I was angry, rushed to pull the trigger, but the bullets didn't explode because the gunpowder was taken out a long time ago. The father is old, but only with a stick in your hand. He was strong enough to hit him on the shore. Get up in the field is to continue to be fertilized, fed through the mouth. I took the chance that my dad didn't notice Larry playing dirty. The knife is hidden and stabbed, but I can't believe he dodged it. Then you take him to the window and watch the full moon. And that is, the two immediately transform into werewolves. What the hell are you doing up until now? The male lead went crazy tearing up clothes. Then he went to play with the old man. But the old wolf is not the same. My son is 10 years younger than me. He still had the strength to throw Larry 10 yards. The battle between two bloodthirsty animals that caused the fire to engulf the entire house. Not to give in to a cruel father. So the South Vietnamese decided to ripen to the end. But no matter what, you still can't beat him. However, Larry is the main character who should be very well directed. Maybe you counterattack. Kick the father flying into the fireplace. It made him scream. Take that opportunity. Larry gave a shot. He drops the head of the father to the ground. You can finally get revenge for my late mother and brother. At the same time, Wen just rode to the place. She ran to lose her grapefruit in ROI. I discovered Larry's true form. Inspector Abelai rushed in to pull a gun, but Wen stopped him. The male lead rushed to grab both but only caught the inspector. The woman saw the gun hurriedly, then turned the speed and turned the dirt into the forest, leaving the inspector struggling with Larry. The man did not kill more people. I jumped out the window chasing Wen. You're running to the end now. There's a waterfall in front of you and Larry in the back. Although very afraid, but you didn't shoot. I try to tell you to wake up. Your sincerity, it helped me to regain some consciousness. But the crowd suddenly came. It scared Larry to act. Wen fired a shot one step ahead. Before death, he thanked her and closed his eyes. I thought werewolves would go extinct from here, but the inspector had been bitten by Larry. The whole city will heal. Little hold more movies come. This is the end. Hello and see you all.